Here's what you missed this month on the Gifted Sounds Network. Bantucentric.
The fan fiction or do get engaged in the fan fiction. I don't think the fan fiction takes away from the original piece. Like I said before, I think it adds to it. My problem is when somebody creates fan fiction and then they start to make money off of it and pretend like it came from something, like it didn't come from something that was already made.
Yeah.
Take for instance, and yes, I'm gonna call them out. 50 Shades of Grey. 50 Shades of Grey was a fan fiction written based on Twilight. Yeah. We all know this. But they're going to put it in the movies and publish it as a book as if it was its own thought and idea. And that kind of irritates me because now this person's making money off of somebody else's whole like plot point. Like, okay, we just took out the fact that he's not a vampire and now he's extra.
Cheers and queers.
Talk about the rest of my chart. I know how this goes.
That is very, very true. We can do that after your next tarot reading.
Oh my god.
All the Christians have like burned this podcast.
Oh, they've left.
They're gone.
Sorry, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
So we wanted to start out with what is your connection to the Sensual Selfie Challenge? Because I know it was like a big internet thing.
That was wild.
And what is it?
So the Sensual Selfie Challenge was a challenge that was curated by Evian Whitney, who works in sexual, kind of like a sexual doula, helping people, mostly femme-identified people, get in touch with their more sensual selves. And the Selfie Challenge was kind of an extension of that. So it was a challenge that invited femme-identified people to go on kind of like a 3 or 4 day challenge where every day there was like a new theme sent to them and then like a new photo theme.
Doing the most.
A lot of connections that I got in New York. I mean, there's a lot of things that happened that the lines, the universe kind of connected. When I went to the MIT hackathon and we won it, I met the CEO of River Studios, who is one of my best friends, and I can call a friend to the death now, who has helped me out tremendously in San Francisco. I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for her. So that happened in Boston. Another good friend of mine who's a contributor in my book, Charlie Fink, is another individual that was in New York that helped me come out to the West Coast. So there's a lot of things that if I didn't do my diligence here, I wouldn't have survived. I mean, I would have survived because I'm a grinder regardless.
Yeah, but it would have just been probably harder, you know?
It would have been so much harder. So what kind of led me to going over to the West Coast was I had an idea for augmented reality. I wanted to build an application that when you walked into a room.
Let's be real sports.
I'm actually good at the tournament style anyway, but I'm like, damn, I thought I had a chance this year, man, to do something. I'm in this little pool right now, and somebody had Liberty, somebody had all the upsets that happened. They had like, yo, what are they, Negro Damas? Like, what the hell happened? How he guessed all these things? I'm seeing now like 43% with the tournament right now, and it's hurting me. I'm sick. I don't even want to keep checking this goddamn thing, but I have to because something's gonna turn. My only saving grace is Buffalo. I have seen them play on ESPN before this whole tournament thing started, and they're my only saving grace left. My only saving grace left. Come on, Buffalo. Please. Make me look smart at least one time. At least one time. And the Final Four, and most of the people's Final Fours are still intact. Most will have Duke, Carolina. Some have Tennessee.
Pondering Nerdcast.
I agree. She was just like, I'm here.
Yeah.
Pose. Like, she didn't really smile because I was like, okay, I get it. But it was just like, she did her thing. And I was like, yes, girl, you can act. But I'm not feeling it.
Right.
I'm not really like, come on, give me something, anything. Mm-hmm. I left the movie and I was like, it was good. It was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought the movie was fire.
All right.
For many reasons, because I look at MCU movies as just MCU movies and not not Marvel Comics movies.
Okay.
Because the comics and the movies have diverged paths in many different ways.
Maybe that's why I'm like kind of. Yeah. I was kind of because I know Carol Danvers' character, and she's she's quippy. You know,
Yeah, she's a very
got,
cocky
like,
person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She's a rival for Tony Stark.
Yeah,
Right.
but she's not like Brie Larson played her very stoic, very like
Super upper punch.
Respect. Not always true. There has been some rich assholes out there, but for the most part.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can understand that for sure.
Yeah. So what's the last thing you're looking for in these gyms?
Unsafe training practices.
Of course.
So obviously in the martial arts, there's going to be some stuff, which is why you sign a waiver, that there's some risk involved. You're doing jiu-jitsu, you could like literally step on the mat and twist your ankle, right? Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean it's unsafe. It just means you tripped. Well, certain practices are very unsafe. For instance, there's videos of people who are lined up in a line against a brick wall, and the instructor has gloves on, and they have their hands down, and he just cracks them in the head as hard as he can over and over and over again by punching him in the head.
I've seen that
one.
He
goes down the line doing this.
Ugh.
That's not safe. That doesn't help you. It's not making you better at anything. It just makes you a dick, And you're going to wind up ending up messing with people's heads, man. Getting hit in the head like that consistently over and over and over again without doing anything.
The Defended Podcast.
Against they're fighting against perception, and they're also fighting against presumptions that a lot of everyone around is making. Presumption being, there's going to be, or potentially thoughts of a Storm standalone film. Put Storm and Black Panther together. Like all of this silly stuff, when you really think about it in the grand scheme of things, they're kind of working against that. And I know Kevin Feige, I always mispronounce his name, but I know...
Call him Fig.
Fig. I know he is trying to do the exact opposite of everything that everyone's saying. At the end of the day...
Give us something unexpected.
At the end of the day, I know he at least try, whether he's actually doing it himself or not, I know that he's going to direct people to do the opposite of what everyone wants. Now, whether or not that ends up being a good thing, I don't know. But I firmly believe that, because there's lots of people arguing about, like, there's lots of people saying, well, are you going to bring Storm in with Black Panther? But then everyone's like, that's such a cop-out. Nobody, quote unquote, wants to see them together.
Titty Talk Show.
You drank a lot of that hen, hon. I mean, you don't remember? It was great. It was amazing. Victimless crime.
So I'm like,
Did anybody see The Order? Did anybody see The Order?
No, I haven't watched it yet. That's on Netflix, right?
Oh man, is it such a situation that's relatable to this right now?
Oh, is there? Oh Lord.
Wait, is that new series or whatever about vampires?
Something about magic.
Is it vampire? No, witches.
Okay, all right.
Witches in a coven in a secret society in college.
Is it with all the white people though? See, I gotta slow my roll when it comes to fantasy sci-fi with all white folks.
I am not gonna lie. The two lead roles are white people, and I was just like, y'all could have picked anybody else in the damn planet. And I was like, y'all gonna pick two. I was like, y'all know this is pretty much Twilight all over again, right?
Oh man.
But.
Well, Villanelle.
With that, should we just get into the next episode?
Yeah, I feel like we should definitely dive in. Here's hoping people
What's the name
stop
of this
taking
episode?
L's. That's my hope, because with Frank dead in your dress, and with Villanelle trapped in solitary with pills, like
What's the name of this
abandoned by
episode again?
Constantine. The last one was Take Me to the Hole. So this one,
I don't want to be free. I feel
yes, that's
like I'm going off the top of my head, but I feel like
that's
that's it, right? Okay, I don't want to be free. Paraphrasing. So let's get into that shit, and we'll be back to talk about it.
Okay.
Hey guys, so yeah, we're back.
Be sure to head over to giftedsounds.com and try a podcast today.
Keep moving.